All right, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Pop-Up, coming to you live from the Black Media Matters studios right here in downtown Seattle. I'm your host, Omari. Let me sit up in the chair, Salisbury, a.k.a. the Big O. We got a fantastic show on tech for you tonight, as we're going to be joined by David Long and Jaebadiah
No,
Gardner.
you said it right,
Hello.
Jaebadiah.
Okay, all right. Listen, it isn't too often we get big time, developer millionaires on the set. So I got to make sure and say the name right.
Here we go.
It is what it is.
We'll get to that. He a philanthropist too, kind of. But you know what I'm saying? We'll get to that part as well. But before we do, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, We Rise Wines. We Rise Wines, you got a great video playing on the screen right there. Look at that beautiful place. Big shout out to Jamila Conley and her team over at We Rise. They're located on 2nd Avenue, right across the street from the Moore Theater. Man, it's not only a wine bar. The wine is for us, by us. David don't drink no more, so we're going to take his wine, double for me. It's also great food over there, a meeting space, everything else. Make sure and check them out at WeRiseWines.com. And, man, we got a fantastic graphic coming your way because we have Jaebadiah Gardner and David Long. They see that? Nice graphic up there? Yeah, okay. All right. Gardner, welcome back here to the Black Media Matters studios and your first time on the Pop-Up.
I appreciate you, Big O. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Man, it even smells like money up in here now. You smell that air?
Yo,
Man,
that's hilarious.
I mean, it usually smells like defeat, oppression, and depression up in here. But like tonight, it smells like money.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
man, I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the trenches right now. So, I'm looking for that money smell, too.
Right. All right. And speaking of dress for the occasion, let's go over here to our other guest, also a good friend. We go back. Me and David Long go back like racism, man. That's how far we go back. I'm talking about David Long. Mr. David Long is Executive Director of Testimony, Praise, Worship Gatherings. Man, hold on. An organization that envisions a future where communities unite to confront the fentanyl epidemic. All right. So, man, you working out there amongst youth and young adults through education, outreach, prevention, advocacy, creative expression, and human connection. Man, that's a lot of different connection points, but I'm glad that you're doing the work. David Long, welcome to the Pop-Up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I'm glad I'm here. I appreciate you. And we do go back, like way, way back.
Yeah, don't worry, man. I won't reveal anything. Look, he gave me that look like, bro, we go back. Let's leave it there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no. And so I think we could also rename this show to Converge After Dark.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm
Hilarious.
just saying
Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well.
It's popping off.
All right, Mr. Director, we ready to get into these news headlines? Okay, it sounds good to me, man. You know, this is the only time we can do this show because, you know, Eric don't wake up till like 7 in the evening. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to
Glad
do
to have you,
We're
Calligraphy.
so glad you
yeah, we wanted to do a morning news show, but it's not going to happen. All right. First headline here. This sounds like it's right up your alley, Jaebadiah. To address student homelessness, Edmonds District helps build housing. According to an article by Denicia R. Superville, wow, what a name, from the Seattle Times, the Edmonds School District has partnered with a nonprofit affordable housing developer, Housing Hope, to construct a 52-unit housing complex for local families experiencing homelessness. Utilizing a 2020 state law that permits districts to lease surplus property for affordable housing, Edmonds has signed a 75-year lease at $1 a year to build a $38 million development named Scriber Place on former practice baseball field in Linwood. Slated for completion next year, this project is specifically dedicated to families whose children attend Edmonds schools and who meet federal homelessness criteria. Jaebadiah Gardner, you are a resident developer. What are your thoughts about that?
We need more of that. We need more of that, and it's good to see that there's nonprofits who are making use of that law. Every municipality has a surplus property list, and you know, but the thing is, a lot of times, most of those properties are in areas that just can't be developed. So it's good to see that Edmonds has some property that's going to be put to some great use, especially directly targeting homeless youth, because as we all know, that's a big issue. So kudos to them.
Yeah, David Long.
And it's also pretty amazing because, you know, a lot of times people forget that homelessness doesn't affect just one person. It is a family affair. And if you have a parent that has a child that's homeless, when they go to school, they're going to feel less automatically than their peers. So having an opportunity to have a home and have a municipality, like you said, that actually takes the effort to make that happen is huge. So again, not only kudos, but please be an example to other places around the Puget Sound to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Big shout out to Edmonds School District. You know, a few years ago, right, even right now the number's high, but a few years ago, Seattle Public Schools said they had thousands of students that were experiencing homelessness at one stage or another. So imagine experiencing homelessness and still trying to go to school and make it happen, right? Yeah. All right, so moving on here. Oh, this is more construction stuff. This is good news, though, right here. Oh, my goodness. Building for Eternity. Construction begins on the Tubman Health Center. According to a recent article in the Converge Media blog, the Rainier Beach community gathered on June 5th near the light rail station to celebrate the official groundbreaking of the 26,000 square foot Tubman Health Center, a landmark project years in the making that is designed by community and for community. The facility represents a paradigm shift in healthcare, integrating allopathic and naturopathic primary care with behavioral health and holistic healing modalities to serve 12,000 patients annually. The center, which stands at the intersection of health and freedom, is expected to complete construction in winter of 2027. David Long, man, Tubman Health, they're breaking ground. What's happening?
Shout out to Curtis. Curtis, great job. I was actually sad that I didn't show up at the dirt, what is it? They called it the dirt turning. And so as you know, Washingtonians, we understand the importance, especially being from Seattle, we understand the fact that a lot of the people within our neighborhoods do not get the health care. A lot of times because people have a tradition of fear of doctors and of hospitals, and which is rightfully so for what has happened to our ancestors and to our grandparents and the relatives that we had in the past. So this will give people that have that fear an opportunity to have a place that they know they can count on. People that look like them will help them and can understand what they're going through, because Again, I'm not going to call out any particular groups or anything, but a lot of
Do
times.
it.
Call
Do
them
it.
out.
Do it.
Pop up.
So if you go to a hospital and you have a doctor that doesn't understand your cultural background, they're not going to really know some of the things that are affecting you outside of what they're seeing on a chart or what they've heard. So when you have people that understand you as a person and they can feel not only what you're telling you feel, but who you are and where you come from, it just makes you feel better about it.
A few things here.
Yes, sir.
One, first of all, thank you for this insightful response. It's very true what you said. Black folks stay away sometime from the doctor. There's the empathy gap. First of all, they'd be like, Blackie, you ain't in pain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything else. We also stay away because we can't afford it.
Right.
And that's another feature of Tubman Health.
Right.
Is the low barrier to entry for access for healthcare, and that's something else that's definitely that we need in our community. And the other thing is like, yeah, bro, you ain't got to dance around it.
Okay.
A lot of times across America we get poor health care because we black.
Right.
And you better not go to the hospital by yourself. Bring somebody who can advocate.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's a pop up, man.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all good. Jaebadiah, two things here, man. One is development. It's always great to see development. It's something serving the community, and also Tubman Health. 12,000 patients a year is what they look forward to.
Yeah, no, that's huge, man. When I think about what makes a community strong, you have the properties that are owned, the multifamily properties that are owned. You have typically a religious institution, or many of them, and you have your businesses, your local small businesses, and then you have the healthcare piece, right? And so it's exciting to see the Tubman Center happening, and congratulations to everybody out there who worked on that project to make that a reality. And I'm excited to have another strong asset in the community, and especially to serve on the healthcare side of things. So I'm excited to see it come to life.
Yeah, no, this is good stuff. Let's see here. We're gonna skip ahead, Eric. This is the story here on Cherry Street.
Yeah.
Take it to the hood. All right. Cherry Street's farms youth sow the seeds for their future. According to an article by Macy Worm, published in the Seattle Medium, big shout out to the Medium, Cherry Street Farm is transforming a Central District property into a hub for community health and youth and education. Opened in 2021, as an extension of Keith Tucker. Hello, Keith. Keith's nonprofit, Hip Hop is Green. That's our guy. The farm champions health and wellness as the formally recognized 10th element of hip hop culture. Now, this is true. Health and wellness, 10th element. Yeah. Okay. Expanding its impact, the farm recently hosted a community planting party to prepare new outdoor beds and is gearing up for a June 22nd grand opening. Man, June's going to be so great.
Yeah, it is.
That will unveil a new patio, kitchen, and bee sanctuary. Don't go near the bees. Ultimately, Tucker and the farm aim to revolutionize urban farming and empower the next generation through the Youth Excellence Program, which has already taught hundreds of kids about climate change, food justice, and how to sustainably grow and cook their own plant-based meals. Jaebadiah Gardner, man, they're in the hood on Cherry Street, and they're growing food.
Yeah, man, come on. I mean, back to what I was saying about just some of the community assets that we need. To be able to incorporate that is amazing, because that also ties into the health, the health and wellness. And I'm all about staying on that healthy track when it comes to food. So the more of those type of organizations that we can support, the better. And we have a mayoral situation where the campaign was all the way on the progressive left side, and I feel like adding more urban farms and adding more healthcare institutions in our community should be considered that. So I'm hoping to see more of that.
All right.
Very much.
David Long, you dedicated your life to health and wellness.
Yes.
See, you thought I was going to say Jesus.
Yeah,
But you dedicated your life to health and wellness a long time ago, man. How does it make you feel to hear about this going on in Cherry?
It is great. So shout out to Key Tech Labs. Shout out to this organization. Shout out to Sacred Land Trust. I've been learning a lot more about the farming, and Adam Powers and the Key Tech Lab group, they are amazing because one thing that we can do as a people is take care of ourselves when it comes to what we eat. And, you know, the unproportionate amount of health issues in the Black community has to start with our food. And if we can control how our food is getting to our tables, then that right there will begin the process of helping our kids have a better lifestyle and a better health program. And I can honestly say that this year, besides the fact of, you know, all the lifestyle changes people make, one thing you have to start doing is if you have any type of dirt, any kind of land, if you have a side yard, learn how to plant your own vegetables. Go to this location, get an education. If you have a yard of any way, shape, or form, you can definitely create ways to produce food for yourself that's better.
Yeah, you know, I know a lot of people in the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've been growing, but it's hydroponic. They've been farming at home for a long time. And now they just got to switch it up to like tomatoes and cucumbers
Exactly.
and stuff. But
Or just
we
move a
got
little bit
some
of a side and give yourself-
expert
Yeah.
urban farmers in the neighborhood, bro.
Right.
Definitely do.
Let's
This
be clear.
is true.
Yeah, but we can do it now to actually make it, you know, you don't have to get rid of your entire crops. You can have some other crops added to your crops.
That's kind of the whole idea. You know, unload
Expanding the farming empire.
Expanding it, yeah. Diversify.
Out of the bathroom?
Diversify your dirt.
Yeah, you see, man, listen, we're off to a great start here on the pop-up, man. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jaebadiah Gardner about, man, what's going on in the development game and gentrification, gentrified neighborhoods, and really what's it like to be a boss. You're watching the pop-up.
Black women in Washington face more than twice the risk of syphilis in 2024, but cases are falling as we learn the facts and look out for ourselves. Yet 1 in 10 pregnant cases were among Black women, but more than half of potential congenital cases were prevented with early care. Early testing makes a difference. Get tested and protect yourself. Protect your child. Protect the community.
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD here. I'm tapping in to make sure you go to JuneteenthWA.com to find out everything that's going on and stay up to date on all the stuff that will be happening at Juneteenth this year. The event, we are moving to the beautiful Hobb Field and parking lot A down over there. Make sure you go to the website to hear about everything. We're having a car show this year. We're doing the Taste of Juneteenth this year. And on the main stage, we are bringing Erica Campbell, Crystal Aiken, and Life Jennings, and we have some great local acts that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't, but you will hear about them on Juneteenth. So make sure you go to the website to learn everything you need to know about the event. Also, you can RSVP on the event if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a food truck. All that is on the website, JuneteenthWA.com. If you want to sign up for the car show, JuneteenthWA.com. We'll see you here. Peace.
Solutions for Seattle, June 17th, T-Mobile Park. Y'all know what it is. Log on to the website, www.solutionsforseattle.com, and be a part of youth empowerment. Let's empower the youth. This is a call to action, a ticket challenge. I need everybody to tap in. Y'all know what it is. Solutions for Seattle.
All right. Solutions for Seattle. Big shout out to Melvin Slaughter, man. He's got like, Yeah, man, it's the Jingle King. You know what I'm saying?
The Jingle King.
His jingle is banging all across the Seattle. Solutions for Seattle. Big shout out to them. You know, June 17th is the last day of school here in the city of Seattle. And, man, they got a special thing going on in partnership with the Mariners. They're trying to get 1,000 students down there to T-Mobile Park to watch the M's take on the Baltimore Orioles. You can find out more information by going to solutionsforseattle.com. All right. You know what I'm saying? Right now, man, we're going to turn the spotlight over to my good friend, Jaebadiah Gardner.
What's goody? What's goody, big O?
No, it's all you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised, man, that you didn't. I mean, you're a bigger self-promoter than Melvin. Like,
I ain't got a jingle, though. I got to work on that aspect of my hustle.
A T-shirt on or something. I bet you if we look deep in the camouflage, it's a bunch of GGs in there.
Little pattern. Trust me, I thought about it.
Yeah, you are. Get this right. This guy's a big deal over here. I don't want to get cussed out. You are the founder and CEO of GardnerGlobal. First of all, before I jump into these questions, man, well, let our audience know, what is GardnerGlobal?
Absolutely. GardnerGlobal, we're a real estate investment development firm focused on developing and investing in multifamily workforce housing affordable projects in Seattle. Well, you know, outside as well, but our projects currently are in the town. So we're looking to create not just homes for people who need an affordable place to live, but also creating investment opportunities for those who traditionally wouldn't get the opportunity to invest in these type of projects as well. So,
all right, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about any projects that you have past or present, and we'll talk more about the Sarah Queen later, but just in a broader sense, tell people what you're up to.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was interesting because we had a really good interview today with the Elite Collective. They're working on a documentary for the Liberty Bank building, and which is on 24th in Union, and I had the opportunity to develop that building. That was actually my first soup to nuts project. At the time, Capital Housing owned it, and they brought me on board to work through all the community and development work to see that project through. And so today, they interviewed me because they're working on a documentary on the project. It's been 10 years since that project has been, or since the signing of a MOU, which would then, in 15 years, you know, the goal is to transfer the property over to a community group or organization. So anyways, it was bringing back a lot of flashbacks from 2015 to 2019 as I was working on that project and all of the kind of just work that I was doing to make sure that project got executed and happened. And there were a lot of stories people just don't know about. Like, some people don't even know I developed that building. So I was like, no, there was some reasons why some things happened. So anyways, past project, and brought back some dope memories. And then, you know, we got projects on 23rd and Union. You know, we got 2 projects we're working on there, and our portfolio, 3.5 acres in Skyway, still clocking away at that. Trying to mentor a lot of younger black youth along the way, you know, and got some got 8 intern and some other folks who are working with us. So excited to continue to create the pipeline of future black developers in Seattle.
Well, good stuff. All right. Now, speaking of that, you know, we had to let you tell the audience who you is, what you doing. And I didn't even know. That's something new I learned tonight about your involvement with the Liberty Bank building. But, man, tell us, what is the state of affordable housing development or affordable housing in Seattle's most gentrified neighborhoods?
Ooh, you know, from a developer's perspective,
course. I mean, not as like the poor guy who's working 3 jobs, who's trying to find the affordable housing, as the millionaire developer that you are. What's your perspective?
That's funny. That is hilarious. Because I will take up 2 new jobs immediately to pay for all the carrying costs on these properties. You know, it's interesting though. It's a pretty serious question because where we're at currently, we are probably at the lowest peak of projects that are going to be delivered to the market right now. As far as units, we only have about 2,000 plus apartments that we're looking at being produced this year. And if you go back to, I would say 2019, even 2020, we had like 17,000 units a year that were popping off.
All right, you're talking about the city.
I'm talking about the city.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
2,000 units.
we only have 2,000 units in the pipeline right now. And right now I'm 117 plus, I'm about 180 of those 2,000
Let me use the camera real quick. Listen, if you on MFTE and you think about moving, you might want to rethink that right now. Because what Jaebadiah Gardner just said is it's like it's not a lot of new units coming onto the market. You know, people, when you get into MFTBE and you get comfortable and you're like, yeah, I'll make a power move. You might want to chill or you're going to be paying that market rate.
And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason why there's not 20,000 units that are going to be built in the city. And the reason for that is on top of all of the macroeconomic political crap that we're going through right now, it is crazy expensive for developers to build. And part of that is it costs to build with the city's inclusionary zoning laws, particularly MHA, mandatory housing affordability. MFTE is going to be there. But MHA was like an additional layer on top of MFTE. Well, how MFTE works is you either, as a developer, I either pay the city a per square foot cost on the total per square foot of my new building. I pay them a per square foot cost, and it varies between $5 to $50. So, for example, if let me back up. So I either do that or I perform the units, and I say, hey, instead of paying you, City of Seattle, I'm going to actually create more affordable units, and they will be covenanted to be affordable at 80% below the AMI for the next 40 years. Two options a developer has. For the past, most developers have elected to just pay the city and say, hey, we're not going to create those affordable units, but we'll give you a check, and then the city takes that check and puts it in their Office of Housing pot, and then that pot grows, and then they use that to create housing, right? So I'll give you an example, just rough numbers. It would have cost GardnerGlobal $3 million if I just wrote the city a check to say, hey, I don't want to create the affordable units. I just want to pay you off. Developers don't have that money now. They don't have that. And so there's a conversation happening right now in City Hall where there may be a vacation or a stay on the MHA program and or a reduction in total cost for the square foot to allow developers an actual kind of like putting coal in their engine so they can start building. It's a cost factor. Construction costs are what they are. Affordable housing, people are like, we need more housing units. It's easy to say we need more housing units. It's easy to say we have a housing crisis, but it's more difficult to look at why. Right. Construction costs are what they are. Material costs are what they are. Developers can't control that. I can't control the cost of a 7-10-year journeyman who's a bricklayer. You know what I mean? And then the cost of the brick, right? So that cost is what it is, inflation every year. And then you have city policies on top of that we have to adhere to that cost additional. Man, I'm telling you right now, if MHA were to take a small vacation and or just decrease the amount of what's required of a developer, those 2,000 units that we see this year could rapidly jump up to 5 to 10 to 12 and create more housing stock. Why is housing expensive in Seattle? Because there's no housing being built. Right. There's no, the demand is crazy. Where do I move? Well, there's no new units on deck. So, anyway, so, you have less supply, you're going to have an increase in costs, increase in rental costs. So there's a lot there. But I just wanted to make sure people knew that we're well beneath the pre-COVID levels of how many units are on the market or will be on the market for new construction. And part of that is MHA. And there's people within the city and the mayor's office who are working to find a solution to work that out, to spur. The whole goal is to hey, if we relax the cost of MHA, maybe that'll entice developers to get back in the game and start creating those units. So,
yeah. So I just wanted to just let you know this. The rent is too damn high.
Absolutely.
Wait, you said it'd be $3 million on 180 units?
117 units.
$3 million.
On our project, it was about $3 million. Yeah. Wow. And so what I did too, because also a part of our mission is to create more affordable housing. So for me, it was an easy decision. It was like, well, I want to create those units, but there's developers like me who don't. They're like, no, I want those to be market rate. But then I can't cut a check to the city for that. So then they just don't build at all. They just sideline the project, right? And so that's what's happening right now. Is the cost of building is insane, and the city has an opportunity to kind of open the doors to allow developers to start building again, basically. Remember between 2013 about 2018, every headline was Seattle has the most cranes in the whole country. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, well, I haven't seen that headline in a while.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I got it.
But we have a housing crisis.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
You got a point there.
What are we talking about?
I ain't seen a crane in a minute.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on, man. So
it's good now to have some kind of understanding, some background information, though. See, that's why we talk to you as Jaebadiah, the balling developer, so we can get this information. You see
I don't
what
know
I'm
about
saying?
balling, but developer, yeah.
All right, so one of the projects that you're working on that we've highlighted here before is the Sarah Queen. The Sarah Queen
indeed.
right there on 23rd and Union. It's a long story now behind it. I remember writing about this thing back in 2019 when you first bought the property from Mount Calvary, right?
Exactly.
From Mount Calvary. Yeah. And then Mount Calvary was there for some years, and then I was surprised. Oh, Mount Calvary's leaving, and then it was demolished. Man, do you own the parking lot?
Yeah, the whole property, of course.
No, but that's you on the park. Man, I need a parking pass.
See, that's why he wanted me on the show.
There you go.
He didn't care about what I had to say. He was like, let me warm him up to ask for his parking
You
pass.
hear that, Charlene? He owned the parking lot right next to the car wash.
Of course, and I own the parking lot across the street.
Yeah.
I got Diamond parking running that lot, so you got to talk to Diamond, man.
I'm
just joking.
So
I was just messing with you.
Diamond don't talk to nobody.
No, they just send you a
they
check.
talk to me.
So last time you were here, the church was being demolished or had been demolished and everything else. Right now, it's a parking lot because I'm assuming that, it still takes years to actually get into development to that groundbreaking. And in the interim, it's Jaebadiah.
Yeah, it takes time. I'm in it for the long haul. Nothing happens overnight with development. And, most people who know my story, like you all, I didn't come from a real estate family. I didn't come from that background. And so, having the resources that are just readily available to just start cooking on a $50 million project weren't there. So I had to be really resourceful, creative, and really activate the hustle mode to even get to where we are today, which is, we're about to get our builder's permit in a few weeks, which is a huge deal because
permit?
Builder's permit.
Oh, okay.
And that is the document that will get stamped and signed by the city that says you have, went through our permitting process and you have the right to build 8 stories, 117 unit building. Huge.
So our parking lot's gonna go away?
Parking lot's going away.
Oh man. No.
There you go.
There'll be a tad bit of parking in the building, but not a lot.
Once the permit comes out, then what's the?
So we'll get our permit, which is great. Also, then it creates value for the property, right? And the goal is to break ground, put a shovel in the ground. And we had hoped to break ground in July, but we won't break ground in July. At least I don't think so, because we have to raise a substantial amount of capital. I have to raise a substantial amount of cash so I can close on the construction loan to get it done. And that's like the third leg of the process. First leg is come up with $3.75 million to buy it. How to figure that out. Second leg is coming up with $2.9 million to pay for all the entitlement and design costs. Had to figure that out. Third leg is it's a $30 million build. Oof. And the bank's going to want to see close to over 50% of that. Oof. Right?
So yeah, they have come equity. $6.3 million plus another 15.
Another 15 M's that I have to come up with and say, Mr. or Mrs. Bank.
So that's over $20 million.
Yeah, $21.3 million.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do math here too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, when it
Financial
comes to
advisor.
money, we know how to
And
count.
I mean, exactly. So yeah, man. So again, I'm pushing to break ground this summer. A lot of my work now is having conversations with investors and on the institutional side, mainly, obviously, because those check size aren't friends and family. So it's been a go, man, and it's difficult. It's hard because people in this market currently, like if they have the ability to write a $15 million check right now, what I'm hearing is they want to find the sweetest deal on the block. And typically that is like investing in existing cash flowing assets, right? Because they can get a yield a certain return with a 100-unit building that's already built. And if they take that same risk on Jaebadiah, who's building from scratch, and they see that same return, it's like, well, there's higher risk. Well, why would I, in getting the same return, why would I should just buy the apartment building.
Because you're dope, bro.
I'd be trying to tell them.
Yeah, they need to know.
I'd be trying to tell them.
They need to know.
Get
Like, what are you
Jaebadiah
talking
his meal
about?
tickets.
Give me my meal tickets, right? And so that's the conversation I'm having. Give me my meal tickets. This is a dope project with amazing story, a legacy building process. I have investors in the fund that I manage that are supportive and behind me, and I want them to experience that cash flow. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work ahead, man. A lot of work, but.
And real quick, and we're gonna jump in the Wayback Machine and play a video. But before we do that, we've talked about the building itself, but you could share with our viewers the actual legacy and the meaning behind the Sarah Queen.
Yeah, I'm naming it after my grandmother, my late grandmother, Sarah Queen Gardner. And I did that because there were just a lot of synergies in place that made it make sense. My grandmother was a church-going woman. Mm-hmm. Monday to Monday, she was in church. And she was a deacon. She had all these roles in the church in Spokane. She's put her time in Spokane in my early years, and I had an opportunity to buy a church. So I was like, this is interesting. When she was laid to rest in 1987, she was laid to rest in Calvary Church in Spokane. And this church that I was purchasing is called Mount Calvary Baptist Center. Wow. And I was like, this is crazy. This isn't just happenstance. And so I naturally, it was an easy decision to say, this is my grandmother speaking to me right now. I need to pay homage to her legacy and the work that she did as a community member and activist and entrepreneur, and create a project, an apartment project that would pay homage not only to her, but like what she exuded and what she was working on, which was being a strong Black independent entrepreneur and a woman on top of all of it. So where is the building in Seattle where you could walk in and recognize Black women all around? And I want this building to be one of those things. And for it to be in the Central District makes all the fucking sense.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, no, this is good stuff. We'll probably lose a sponsor tonight, but it's all good. So we're going to hop in the Wayback Machine right here. This actually was shot for episode 1 of Back to Basa. This premiered July 1st, 2023, and this is a sit down with Jaebadiah Gardner.
I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been kind of beating to my own drum. I didn't know what that was as a young age, but as I got more experienced professionally and real estate kind of came into my peripheral, I realized I was super passionate about it, and I realized that was one of the wealth centers in the world where wealth gets generated through real estate. And so I went on this rampage, this obsessive rampage of trying to really understand everything I could and develop a business model around it. Because ultimately it's about taking care of my family and those who I love and those who are close to me. And this is a vehicle for me to do so. I don't come from a family of resources. I don't come from a family of a real estate background. I'm a first generation real estate developer and investor. And so I had to do a lot of research, a lot of digging. If I'm going to start a business, I had to know what business I was getting into, right? And we're talking about, real estate is one of the oldest businesses in the book. This is how folks have been able to maintain and grow their wealth and take care of their families. And so, I just stuck to my own script, wrote a business plan and stuck to the script. And here we are almost 15 years later. Man, it sounds cliche, but my first book was titled Believe in Yourself for a reason. And I think when people start to actually manifest that belief versus just say it, then they start to see things change. And what that means is, you got to be consistent with what it is you want to do. You can't switch the script. If you want to be a mechanic, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a real estate developer, if you want to be a media, media icon, you got to do the things that it takes to get there and not switch up because times get hard. And I wrote about that in my book, that a lot of people, they see the goal and it looks like a straight line, but ultimately, it's a lot of zigzags. Stay focused, and ask yourself, is this gonna get me closer to my dream, my goals, my passion? If it's not, then there's your answer. I'm still navigating, racism isn't over. Systemic oppression isn't something that just ended because I was able to secure a few deals. It's alive and well. And the navigation part is that's the journey, but it's also being able to be savvy enough to understand when to confront that oppression. What I've been able to do is channel that feeling into positivity and progression. So whenever I feel it, I learn different ways and avenues to navigate around the conversation to make sure that we execute. And I don't let the systemic oppression, victimize my business or my mentality to where I'm boo-hooing and crying wolf. It is what it is. We live in America. It's not to our advantage. So knowing those are the rules of the game, I play the rules the same way they do, except I just got to be a lot more educated about the process. I hope that there's other Black and brown kids out there who can see themselves in the work that I'm doing, because it is attainable. You just got to sacrifice and put in that work. I would tell a 7-year-old Jaebadiah, because that Jaebadiah experienced a lot in the first 7 years of life. I would tell him that the pain that you feel is going to be the toughest pain you'll ever feel, so everything else is going to be easy. That pain, you already felt it. You ain't going to feel pain like that again. You can't. So go ahead and just take what you need to take from the universe and have a good time doing it.
I thought you should know.
Nobody's talking about that.
All right, Jaebadiah Gardner, big honor, as you said right there, man. Story number 1 and episode number 1 of Back to Basic. What a fantastic run for that show. As executive producer there, man. 150 episodes, over 1,000 stories told, and you were number 1.
It's love. That's love, man. Awesome. I'm gonna forever hold on to that. Soldier boy. I was soldier boy to the Back to Basic world. Ain't no one did Back to Basic before me. I was the first one to do it.
This is true. We're gonna circle back around, and we got an event and some other stuff to talk about. But on your development side, right here, is there anything else you want us to know?
I just want to say thank you to the community who's always been super supportive of the work we're doing, and we're excited to continue that work, and everybody, keep us in your good thoughts and positive thoughts as we go out and raise the rest of this capital to make this a reality. So appreciate the community who's always had our back.
Jaebadiah is dope. Give him these meal tickets, man. You know what I'm saying? This is our guy. Hey, we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're learning all about how David Long is rolling up his sleeves and helping the impact on the streets, especially those impacted by fentanyl. You're watching The Pop-Up.
Solutions for Seattle, June 17th, T-Mobile Park. Y'all know what it is. Log on to the website, www.solutionsforseattle.com, and be a part of youth empowerment. Let's empower the youth. This is a call to action, a ticket challenge. I need everybody to tap in. Y'all know what it is. Solutions for Seattle.
Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole.
This summer, Metro connects the world.
Now's your chance to join the Days to Come Reading Challenge to ignite the civic imagination needed for racial repair in Washington state. Read, discuss, and take action until Juneteenth to bring Dr. King's vision of a truly just society to life. Visit saarcpnw.org for more information.
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD here. I'm tapping in to make sure you go to juneteenthwa.com to find out everything that's going on and stay up to date on all the stuff that will be happening at Juneteenth this year. The event, we are moving to the beautiful Hobb Field and parking lot A down over there. Make sure you go to the website to hear about everything. We're having a car show this year. We're doing the Taste of Juneteenth this year. And on the main stage, we are bringing Erica Campbell, Crystal Aiken, and Life Jennings, and we have some great local acts that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't, but you will hear about them on Juneteenth. So make sure you go to the website to learn everything you need to know about the event. Also, you can RSVP on the event if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a food truck. All that is on the website, juneteenthwa.com. If you want to sign up for the car show, juneteenthwa.com. We'll see you here. Peace.
Discover the raw, essential story of Northwest modernism through the Seattle Art Museum's Beyond Mysticism. This exhibition features over 150 pieces celebrating the region's natural beauty and urban life. Get your tickets today at seattleartmuseum.org. We'll see you there.
All right. Big shout out to Bayana. That's Trey on a holiday. You can make sure and catch her on The Day with Trey Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on Converge. Now back from the break, we're catching up with David Long. This thing is literally long like your last name. So let me read this here. David Long is the executive director of Testimony, Praise, Worship, Greetings.
Gatherings. But we just
hold on.
TPWG.
No, it's because they might clip it out later. So hold on. Let me do it again for you, bro.
Sorry.
David Long is the executive director of Testimony, Praise, Worship, Gatherings. Brother, how are you?
I'm excellent. How you doing, All
right, so good, man. Tell us all about what is this thing all about? It sounds like testimonial and praise and gatherings.
So it goes by TPWG. So Testimony, Praise, Worship, Gatherings is actually my way of sharing the story. So the testimony part of it is just sharing your story. The praise part of it is acknowledging the fact that we all have a success somewhere in our life. The worship part of it, for me personally, is I give God praise for everything that's going on in my life. But your worship situation could be just having some joy in what you have going on. And the gatherings is we need to get together to share what's going on. So yes, the foundation of TPWG, Testimony, Praise, Worship, Gatherings, for me, is my relationship with God, but how somebody takes it, I just want people to know that they should be able to share their story, be excited, and have other people that they can share their story with. So TPWG is founded in my religious beliefs personally, but as far as how I'm bringing it to the community, I want people to know that it's not, you don't have to be a religious person to have excitement about what you have going on in your life and sharing it.
So, are you an actual do-gooder?
Am I a do-gooder?
Like warm fuzzies?
I am definitely a positive mental attitude person. I start my day off pretty excited. I get up around 3:30, 4 o'clock every day. I like to get up, I meditate, I pray, I get a little bit of a workout in, and then I just get going.
I tried that. Charlene shut it down, though. She said I was up too early.
No, I love it. And then, my life has been clear of all relationships, anything else that's kind of distracting, so I'm very focused on what I got going on.
All right, and so this is good. It sounds like you're well-grounded and centered, and, you're getting up early, and, drinking more water, minding your own business, all that good stuff. So now what are you doing? How does that translate into once you've left your home? What are you doing out here in community?
Man, I am doing a lot. So we are very focused on helping the youth.
Youth need help.
Yeah, I lost my godson to a fentanyl overdose in 2024. Somebody laced his weed. And it broke my heart because I was studying for my Series 7, and he was on my mind to call, and I didn't call him, and 5 days later he passed away. And it almost made me go back to drinking. And so instead of taking that hurt and letting it break me, I had to really find, ways of turning that around. And then within a matter of weeks, one of my best friends lost his daughter to fentanyl. And then 2 of my coworkers lost their kids to fentanyl. So I'm like, you know what? These kids are really dying out here. And they're dying not by their own choice. A lot of times, so if you're over 21, you can go to the weed store and you can go get your need. If you're under 21, you did what we did back in the day. You're going to find somebody that has the connection. And the people that are selling it are adding the fentanyl to the weed because you're going to have a higher high or a deeper high, however you want to look at it. And they don't really care that it's affecting the kids in the way that it does. And so I just basically, when I start my days, I have an amazing team. I have an amazing group of people that I work with. And I just do whatever I possibly can to be effective in being active and then also living it out. I'm a very God-fearing man, and I love my relationship. I'm not a very religious person. I grew up in the church. I go to church. But I don't believe that a lot of people that are in the church live the life that they claim.
A little louder for the people in the back.
I don't believe a lot of people in the church live the life that they claim. So what I'm doing personally is I'm putting my money where my mouth is, which is actually just going out, loving everyone, treating people how they deserve to be treated no matter where they are, especially if they're the lowest of the low. That's who needs the most love.
I mean, what's a praying mouth without a working hand?
You know what I'm saying?
So my daddy, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? My daddy was a preacher. He knew the Bible front and back. And, he'd tell me to stop cussing so much if he was here. He'd be all right. But he'd always tell me, because I wasn't religious, but I'm hella like spiritual. He told me, like, son, you don't need to know this Bible like me because you're out there in the streets every day helping people.
There you go.
That's what he told me.
That's it. And so, I love the churches that I attend, but I truly believe that if everyone in the church family took the time just to go help one person that's down and out, the city would be a lot better place, the country would be a lot better place, the world would be a lot better place. But again, that's my personal belief. I don't want to, shake any feathers.
No, you should shake, but it's to pop up.
Okay.
Shake the
pop
whole tree.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I hear you saying, don't worry, I'll say it so you don't get pinned to you. Is, man, if you really want to see a change in your community, be the change you want to see.
Exactly.
Get out and do something.
Right.
Instead of talking about it or just retweeting or you know what I'm saying, get up, get out, do something.
And Outcast said it best. Get out and do. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. But the point is this, honestly, it's like church is not just Sunday. And if you believe in what the word says, we are the church. So if you're a person that calls yourself a Christ I am, which is a Christian, then you have to be like Christ. Jesus did not spend time with other people at the church. Jesus did not hang out with people at the church.
He hung out with people like us.
Yeah, he
everyday sinners.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
People that
Jesus was really in the hood popping it.
He really was in the hood.
For real.
He was in the hood. And that being said, I think a lot of times personally, what TPWG is about, it is definitely about sharing your story. Like a lot of times people, I like to dress, blah, blah, blah. People think that I have this great life. I am an alcoholic that was homeless in 2017. I literally lost everything, and now I've been sober. And my commitment was I'm going to give back from where I came from.
Let's stop right there. We give you a hand.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, sobriety is where it's at. And it saved my life. I mean, those that knew me prior to 2017 could definitely tell you many stories.
You went hard in the paint.
Very hard in the paint. I went hard in the paint every day, and I was very proud of it. I kept a fifth under my seat to keep it real. But that being said, I made a change in my life, and I am sharing my testimony. The reason why this actually started, I'll just be the whole story is when I got sober, I had people come over to the house, and the whole concept of this was we were going to have parties. I started out as testimony, praise, worship parties because I wanted to actually show people that you could have a good time being sober. And then the gathering side of it.
I'm still trying to get there.
You're so stupid. No, it's and again, it's not for everybody. And that's another thing about it is No,
I interrupted you. The party was happening.
The party was happening, and I realized that when people were coming over to my shout out to Verdane Johnson, Jalon Johnson, when they were coming over to the house where I was staying, I would always have some music on that was positive. I would always have, I had to share what was going on in my life, and what was going on in my life was I had to have a blow and go. I had a PO. I had to go to AA. I had to go to intensive outpatient or intensive inpatient outpatient.
You ain't had no time to drink.
No, I was on it. You know what I'm saying?
And a blow and go, for people who don't know, is like you have to blow into this breathalyzer at any random time of the day. Right?
Any time of day. And I had to have one you had to carry when I first started. So I was going through I had nothing. And so I realized by telling other people that I literally went from having everything to having nothing, it gave them some strength. And a lot of times people don't realize that whatever your life, whatever you've been through, your testimony, your story, whatever you want to call it, that impacts how people live. Like when somebody hears that you have had everything taken away and they're in that spot, and then they see where you are now, it gives them hope that they can actually still win. And that's really what TPWG is all about. It's letting people know that it doesn't matter where you come from, what you have going on. If you're committed to your own personal success and you really give it all, you can win. So
I can't wait till Jaebadiah's next book comes out because it's going to be a testimony. and I'm not even saying that I'm no funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's going to inspire a lot of people.
So
when you're saying now that with your advocacy, especially around with young people around fentanyl, are you doing any activities with young people, or is it gatherings? What are you?
I am. So right now, my big push is outreach. So we went out Saturday. Shout out to all of my volunteers, and we went and handed out food bags and hygiene bags. So that's really where my heart's at. I personally.
So are you? Does your first step is recognizing the humanity of people who are suffering from substance abuse disorder, especially fentanyl?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And a hygiene bag and food is the first step in recognizing that they're human?
Yes, going out to just show people that somebody cares. Like what's unique and what's so crazy is I had a few left over, so I did it over by the courthouse this morning after I went to City Hall. And just the look on somebody's face when you actually walk up and say, hey, man, do you want some food? Can I get you a bag? I have a toothpaste. I got some toothbrushes. I got some deodorant. They literally just say, man, thank you. Because if you're working downtown, I stay on 23rd and Jackson. If you go by 12th and Jackson, you go by 3rd and Jackson, you go to by any of these areas.
Outside our front door.
People just walk by folks. Somebody literally is laying against the building. Whatever, they're knocked out, whatever, people just walk by them. Or if they're sitting there and they're needing something, people just walk by them all day long. These are human beings that need just a little bit of love. And again, if you believe in your heart that you are a person of whatever your belief is, loving thy neighbor is the next thing to loving God. So if that's what you claim, how can you not love the person that's in the most need? So for me personally, TPWG, we start with, let's just take care of the basic needs. Then once we get by there, I've been blessed to help a couple people get off the street. And it takes work. It's not easy because some people don't want to get better. And that's the hard thing to understand. But they still deserve to get at least attention, some love, some food, just something to help them know that they're not ignored.
These are our community members. And it's easy for us to forget that these are our community members. And we say here all the time, is that like, man, people ain't throwing away. God don't make no junk.
Right.
And it's important that in our daily grind and hustle that we leave space and grace to recognize humanity on all levels, whether it's the boardroom or on the street level. We're going to take a break here real quick. Before I do, is there anything else that you want people to know about your organization?
We are here to be the feet on the ground, the hands in the dirt. So if you don't feel like you have the time or the energy, you can support us and we'll do the work for you.
Man, I feel like I went to church in the last 9 minutes. Hey, let the church say amen.
Amen.
Hey, we're going to take a quick look. They were saying that you can get the amen out here too. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some impactful questions for both Jaebadiah and for David Long. You're watching The Pop-Up.
My name's Deontay Damper, and I want to talk to you about something real.
I'm about to get
Mental health, substance use, alcohol use, things many of us often carry in this community, often in silence. What a lot of people don't know is this: crisis care services in King County are free, and they're available 24/7 for every single one of us. You can call 988 at any time and reach out to trained, compassionate counselors right here in this very region. And we're talking about people who listen and stay with you through the moment to figure out what you need. Now, if you want someone to come to you, they'll send their mobile crisis teams anywhere in King County. These mental health professionals and people with lived experience, not law enforcement, from DESC, YMCA, and the Sound, will show up and support you. And now there's another option. You can walk into one of King County's crisis care centers anytime for urgent mental health and substance use support. Just like you walk into urgent care for a broken arm, but this time it's for your mind and your recovery. No insurance, no appointments, just walk in. The first center is actually open right now in Kirkland, and people are already coming through those doors every day. And more centers are on the way, actually in the comings of years, including Seattle on First Hill, in South King County, on the east side, and one specifically just for our youth. We all know someone who struggles. I have. Maybe you have. Or someone you love. Asking for help can often feel hard, but you're not alone. You have someone to call. Someone who can show up, and now a safe place to go. These services are free, and they're here because communities demanded better. They voted to make it real. The doors are open. Walk in when you need to.
All right, welcome back to the pop-up, coming to you live from the Black Media Matters studios here in downtown Seattle. I'm your host, the Big O. Casual look here today. I tried to keep up with my colleagues. The dog ate my wardrobe, so you know.
I feel like it wouldn't be you if you weren't wearing something that says Seattle on it.
Well, that's true. You know, I'm always repping. All right, so we're gonna start. This is a question for both of you guys. Let me get the right one. I was getting ready to ask about something else. And this is good because both of you guys have your journey, and which is great. It's definitely two totally separate journeys, but it's a journey of overcoming and being right here, present and where you're at, and doing the very best that you can in this moment. Jaebadiah, what small moments in your work remind you of the impact?
What small moments in my work remind me of the impact? Man, for me, it's when I'm calling my 88-year-old grandfather, wishing him happy birthday. And he's still with us, and he still can comprehend, and he forgets a lot, but to hear his voice, to hear my grandmother's voice, who's the same age, and to hear them, and he has a saying he raised me with, you know, and he keep on trucking, mijo, keep on trucking, mijo, and he's been telling me that since I was 9 years old. So for me to have those phone calls, and he's 88 and I'm 43, and he's still saying keep on trucking, mijo, like those moments for me are what make the work worthwhile. You know, so that's one of the first things that come to mind. It's family.
Right. And David, same question for you. What small moments in your work remind you of the impact?
When you give somebody just something, if it's buying somebody a meal, if it's just saying hi to someone and you just see the life come back into their face, that right there makes me get up early. That's what keeps me actually fired up, is knowing the fact that it could be just one word and can really change somebody's entire day and make somebody feel important.
Yeah, I usually don't hop in on these questions, but I'll hop in on this one. Is it especially in the last year, I found myself in the 11th hour and 59 minutes and 59 seconds of just quitting and walking away. And somehow there's always somebody from all different walks of life, a phone call. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about you. I sure appreciate your work here. Or, I read this thing and it's been weird, man. I mean, it hasn't been weird. It's just a reaffirmation. Don't quit, And it's all the smallest people, I talk to these big guys all day long across the city. It's always, somebody will hit us who's been following us for 8 or 9 years. And we ain't never heard from them. And they just pop up. And just like, I want to tell you to stay encouraged. And I be thinking to myself, like, how they know I needed encouragement? But it's continued to happen. And so for me, that's some of the small moments. David, you have an event. We're jumping over here to E2, Eric. David, you have an event coming up. Maybe you could tell us about it.
Yeah, it's going to be Thursday. So I've had this nonprofit for 5 years. I've self-funded it this entire time. And we're having our first fundraiser event. We're going to be showcasing about 15 young people over at the Art Love Salon. It's called Showing the Lost What Found Looks Like. The title came to my soul because, a lot of the youth out here are lost. It doesn't matter if they're on drugs, if they're in a gang, if whatever it is, they're just feeling lost.
Or they're just lonely and depressed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that make them feel lost. And there's a lot of things going on in the community that are definitely are bad, but there's so many young people that are doing some amazing things. And so we're going to showcase them. And this is something that we're going to do often. And it's going to be at the Art Love Salon. We're going to have Wally's, shout out to Wally's, doing our catering.
Slapping.
Yeah,
Wally's
off the
fire.
hook. And we're going to basically, it's free. It's a fundraiser. And we're going to have Black Stacks, shout out to Black Stacks, performing, a bunch of other performers. But we're going to have young people from fashion design, sculptor, painter, musicians, entrepreneurs, and we're just going to showcase them, let people see examples of youth that are doing great things. Please bring out your kids. And as we get into the summertime, the real goal is to give our young people inspiration. Let them see young people that look like them, sound like them, that they can emulate, somebody that they can actually look up to and, play your sports, but don't just play video games all summer. Get into your creativity in some other ways. So that's the whole goal of this thing, is to give kids and young people, and also let the parents see some examples of other youth that are doing some things that maybe they haven't noticed these skills in their kids. There's kids that are photographers. There's kids that are painters. They can do a lot of things. So, see examples of kids and young people that are doing great things, and then hopefully incite some other kids to do the same.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds like an amazing event. Now, Jaebadiah.
Yes, sir.
They said developer, philanthropist, author,
Executive film producer,
fund manager, filmmaker, event producer.
Hey.
Tell us, you got an event coming up. Yeah, Eric's got it up on the screen.
Yeah, I got an event coming up actually for each of the World Cup games that are hosted in Seattle. I'm going to open up the GardnerGlobal headquarters for a private remote box suite experience. It costs, but if you can't go to the game because the tickets are insanely expensive, but you still want to experience the game in a private box setting with some amazing people, come on down to GardnerGlobal. It's $250 a ticket. Now, it might sound a lot, but you're going to be real. You're going to spend that at a bar that's not black-owned anyway. So while you're watching the game, so what I'm doing is everything, all the food is going to be catered. Everything, all the drinks will be included. There's no tickets. There's no limit. Just come out, have fun, enjoy the World Cup. And we'll do the Belgium and Egypt game, and we're going to do the Juneteenth game as well. So if you're looking for that high-level experience, GardnerGlobal is hosting in Post Alley. And after the game, if you want to enjoy the festivities of the city afterwards, we're just steps away from the stadium.
It's a good look. Now, I've had that VIP suite experience there a few times over at GardnerGlobal headquarters, and that, I'll vouch for that. My second thing is that David said he doesn't drink, so he's looking for a discount. No, I'm just messing with you.
Hey, Dave, you good. You good.
All right, but before we wind it out over here, I appreciate you guys coming through. We're going to give you an opportunity to tell people how they can keep up with you. Now, David, that's your camera right there, the one with all the glass.
Okay. So you can reach out to us at tpwglove.org, or you can definitely come see us Thursday at the Art Love Salon, which is 110 Union Street. We'll be there from 4:15 till 8:30. And if you want to volunteer, if you want to get into the streets, if you want to make an impact, we would love you to come check us out, tpwglove.org. And that way you can contact us, and we would love to get you on our volunteer list.
Fantastic. And Jaebadiah, you're such a veteran here in this stadium. In this studio, I don't even need to tell you.
Man, you keep inviting me back, so I must be doing something right. Come on. I'm waiting for the day where I don't get the invite. Like, what did I do, Big O? What did I do? If folks want to keep up with me, Jaebadiah.com. Definitely you can catch up with all the news there, but I'm really active on Instagram, honestly, and it's really simple. My name, @Jaebadiah. So if you're interested in the work we do on the development side, interested in investing in the work, interested in just affordable housing, feel free to reach out, shoot me a DM. Super interested in having those conversations. Or if you want to talk about how to change the city for the better, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and if you got that $30 million, go ahead and slide into the DMs.
I should say that. Rewind. If you got $15 million and you're interested in investing in the city of Seattle,
it's your
drop me a DM.
All right. Well, David, Jaebadiah, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for
having us, for real.
All right. So before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody this is actually a business, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a business, man. And you can support our work by visiting whereweconverge.com. Look at the donate button there. You know what I'm saying? Join the $5 family. We ain't pressed. You can also join the $15 million family, too. We're definitely open for that. We're going to look out for our bruv if we get that kind of bread. And also remind you that Deontay Damper, he's the Grand Marshal. That's right, Deontay Damper. Yep. Pride 2026 Grand Marshal. We got the official T-shirts, man. They're $40. You know what I'm saying? Less expensive than the watch party, but you do get more for that, though, because you get drinks and food and VIP experience. But $40, you can help support our cause. It's a limited edition. We live in color T-shirts. And Eric likes to put the little Deontay up. He drags it across the screen. He's a wild dude. Anyways, listen, big shout out again to David Long, to Jaebadiah Gardner. We're back again tomorrow night, live from the Black Media Matters studio. And until then, peace.